Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Moletrap here, coming at you with another replay cast. All the pixels once again, and we got a pretty cool matchup today actually here. I think just should be pretty fun. You know, obviously we're gonna be having one player who's probably favored to win, but I think it's gonna be a good fight regardless. And we've seen some games recently anyway where one player was the definite favorite and the other still succeeded. But in any case, we do have Jaedong as the blue Zerg up here in the top right hand corner of the map. Circuit Breaker. And we got, I think this is Circuit Breaker. And we got Bogus down here in the bottom left hand corner of the map. I'll put the name of the map in the title or the description, I guess. But like, I'm pretty sure it's Circuit Breaker, but that was like, it's like 30 seconds ago when I checked the map. So I could be wrong. Memory's very fallible. In any case, we should have a good matchup here today. This is another replay cast. I'm not sure when it's from, honestly. This is from just like a big replay pack of random pro players replays, and it's probably from early 2010s, I would imagine. Since Bogus was not a player who like really kept playing, as far as I can tell, after the Kesper era. I think his last games that we see him playing in are 2012 or 2013 or something like that. So we'll see how that goes. But Bogus is an interesting character. He's a player who, like, he had a lot of potential, and he was a very strong player. You know, he was definitely above like the practice partner level or whatever. Both players are scouting around. This is a 4-player map, by the way, so they're just kind of trying to check out where things are, what their opponents are doing. But in any case, just a little bit about Bogus here. He's a player that was like really pretty good. In fact, he was actually when Effort won Rookie of the Year in 2009, he was the runner-up. Bogus was the runner-up for the Rookie of the Year that year, and he was so he was considered pretty strong at one point. But he never really took off and had a lot of success. He got into the early rounds of a few Star Leagues, but couldn't quite ever make it to, like, you know, quarterfinals or anything like that. But a funny story about him is he actually, he was in, which one was it? I forgot. Let me look in the background here. It was the Nate MSL. That's the one that he did the best in. He got to the round of 16 of the Nate MSL. And he actually, in the group selection ceremony for the Nate MSL, he said he wanted to be in the group with Bisu and Savior because it seemed like the easiest group. And in 2009, that was a pretty bold statement. Actually, at any time, it's a bold statement, I guess, just because they're both, you know, legendary players before, this is before, you know, Savior was caught out, I guess. Doing the match fixing, whatever. Okay, so we got just normal play here, by the way. They are very far distance. So, so, you know, it's going to be hard for anyone to pull off anything too crazy. Going for a late pool is fine, and you know, going for this quick expansion is probably fine as well. Although we actually have Bogus sending out Marines here. Is he hunting for this Overlord? Oh, what a cool play. What a cool play. He's got this SCV scouting in the main to see what's going on. I think he's hunting for Overlords here because he knows where the main is, obviously. Where is he going to find it? Is he going to find it? Oh, he thought the Overlord would be here by now, and it wasn't. So he's redirecting. He's looking around for that Overlord. He's gonna miss it just barely. Oh man, just by a few seconds. This Overlord is running right over where he thought it would. Look, he's still just hunting around his area, I guess. I'm not sure. Maybe he's not hunting for the Overlord anymore. Maybe he's just hunting for stray lings, or I'm not sure what he's doing at this point. But no bunker, actually. That's actually a depot. I think there was a bunker building earlier. But pretty fast stacking gas here for Jaedong too. So we might be seeing, and the lair's already going down, so we might be seeing like some 2-base Mutalisk play is kind of what I'm looking at here. But we'll have to see how this progresses. But anyway, just to finish that story, so Bogus wanted to be in Bisu and Jaedong's group, and his teammate Calm was one of the seeds. And the group selection, the seeds have like powers, and so they can make a change to the groups. And so he actually changed it so that Bogus would be in the group with Jaedong and Bisu, and he beat both of them to get into the round of 16, where he lost. So he didn't get any farther than that. But it's still interesting that was his. He was, for a moment, it looked like he was a rising star. beating the legends to get into the round of 16, and if he'd gone past that, you know, he might have made a name for himself, but he never really got too much farther. But anyways, a guy who could beat Bisu is a guy who you have to be afraid of, or at least respect, I should say, regardless. Jaedong putting a lot of lings out into the map right now. You can see him on the minimap kind of sprinting out, doing a little bit of poke in here to see what exactly is going on here. There's no bunker, but this is a nice little wall here that he's created to make sure that lings can't really do too much shenaniganry. Stim is on the way, +1 weapons on the way as well, and the Spire is also on the way over down here. Oh, and that scan, I think that scan saw it. Oh, click the wrong one. I can't, why can't I click? I can't. Okay, I tried to click off Jaedong's vision so that we could see what Bogus saw exactly. It didn't work. I don't know why it's not working. Usually you click on the name. Okay, whatever. But I'm pretty sure that scan was in a spot where he saw it. He knew this hatchery was there, so I think that's what he was doing, was hedging his bets. He knew the Spire wouldn't be like down here or over here, so he was catching this part of this creep and this part of this creep, I think was his plan there. And Jaedong hiding it here made it so that if he scanned the main, it wouldn't get vision of it, but it was still kind of like a good spot to check out anyway. So in any case, so Bogus is gonna have to put down some turrets here pretty quick though. He did scan that. Okay, now he's putting up the turrets. Pretty good timing. He knows, again, it's a very far distance. The Mutalisks are about to pop out. Look at this, 11 Mutalisks. 11 Mutalisks in production there. Did I see that right? Yeah, he has his hatchery down here as well. So lots of Mutalisks popping out all at once here. Saved up a lot of money, a lot of gas. And he actually did get this third base down here, obviously. Not just sheer 2-base Mutalisks, as I was thinking. But he got that gas very early, so he did have a lot of gas, relatively early. So he had a lot of gas in the bank to make a ton of Mutalisks immediately upon completion of the Spire. And now here he comes in for the harass, trading some hits. And Jaedong taking probably not the better end of that trade. He gets 1 Marine, takes a lot of damage on his Mutalisk though. Now he's got the full complement of 11 though. He's going to come in with some Zerglings as well. And actually, that injured Mutalisk got targeted probably as a coincidence. And here he's just diving in with the Mutalisks and Zerglings. He's like, I just got enough stuff. There's nothing you do about this. I don't know why he's not fighting by his turrets actually. While he gets a little bit better stuff going on. Not that I'm saying it was a bad move to move out here, but it's just not usual. Now, Jaedong did lose several Mutalisks there. You can see he's down to 7. Some of them are very badly injured as well, so he can't really keep up the harassment. So Jaedong kind of diving in and trading his Mutalisk health for that first Marine army while it was kind of separated out there. Bogus was able to salvage a little bit. He gets some of the medics out and what have you, and now looks like he's going to try to head down to the bottom right. Maybe not. Maybe he's taking a long way around, I'm not sure. But he is still continuing to move out onto the map to try and accomplish something here, to try and put some pressure down. Jaedong continuing to harass. He's actually, still those 7 Mutalisks. He hasn't produced any extra Mutalisks right now. He's switched entirely into the mid-game tech. I guess Mutalisks mid-game or Mutalisks early game, if you're doing them for harassment and stuff. I'd say this is mid-game, but either way, he's got the Hydros den out. The lurker aspect has been researched, so he's switching into spending all of his money on lurkers. He spent that money on the first 11 Mutalisks, and that was it. He hasn't spent any more money on replacement Mutalisks, so he's just trying to do what he can with these harassment mutas. He got obviously some very good kills early on against that first army, and he looks like he's going to try and pull a little bit of a backstab maneuver here while the Marines are out in the middle of the map. He's going to try and come in around the bottom and maybe do some damage with those Zerglings. And he's actually move actioning those Mutalisks in, I guess intentionally to get back here. He does have enough Mutalisks that he can still one-shot the SCVs, but he's taking significant damage from those turrets. He runs back out again. He's got these Zerglings on reserve so that he can kind of use them as a little bit of additional firepower and soak up some damage if he does encounter some Marines out here in the middle of the map. So, but where's those lurkers? There they are. Lurkers are now out in the map. And does Bogus have his science vessels out? There's the facility. It looks like he is just getting his first vessel out now, just as I was looking for it. So he does have the ability to kind of move around the map a little bit safely and spot lurkers if need be. Is he going to try and do some sort of contain here? Or is he going to set up outside so as soon as Bogus crosses the bridges, he'll collapse down onto that? And there's the scan right on that location, so he knows those lurkers are there. He can be cautious about that, and he's going to go the long way around instead, as a matter of fact. Very light on the medics, but heavy on the Marines here in this situation. And we do have 1-1, by the way, for the Marines. Let's go ahead and check on the Zerglings. Have 0-0. Mutalisks also have 0-0. So no upgrades for the Zerg. And he's going to be able to get one of these tanks, though. Probably not. His Mutalisk count is so low now. He's down to 4 mutas, and those are just a couple Scourge in there mixed in so that he can just target his whole air group against the Science Vessel. And, you know, the Mutas can actually soak up damage so the Scourge can land, which is actually kind of important in this situation. You'd rather kill a vessel and lose a Mutalisk, or even 2. But he just doesn't have the firepower to actually pick anything off with those mutas right now. So we're seeing a little bit of a tug-of-war game here as Bogus moves out into the middle of the map. Jaedong kind of having to fall back because it's a superior force. If he can get the right engagement, Jaedong's force is superior, but it's just so difficult to get that engagement here. These tanks are a huge problem. With those tanks in the back line, he can kind of control where the battlefield is. If Jaedong tries to set up a defensive position, he can out-siege it, outrange the defensive position with the tanks. So Jaedong forced to kind of run around here. The radiates are starting to come out here. He's got one more in the bank if he wants to. He might be saving it for those Mutalisks, though. Never mind, there goes another Lurker. At this point, it makes sense. Oh, actually, Muta's soaking up damage so the Lurkers can get some spines off. Several Marines dying, and but the 3 tanks are still there doing damage. So again, Jaedong's gonna be forced back, and the pathfinding over this ramp is not good. He needs to burrow right now. He needs to get on top of that ramp right now. He does, and he is able to keep those Marines from really stomping down him. Otherwise, he'd be in a really bad spot. Of course, the tank siege up, and he's forced to fall back one more time, though. Consume, by the way, is 90% upgraded. Does he have a Defiler in this position? He has a Nidus Canal over here, so he might be forced to cancel this, but I believe he's probably gonna... He's forced these tanks to siege and unsiege so many times that he is going to be able to fall back up this ramp. He's going to try and save this hatchery, though. Does he have he has one Defiler here. He's trying to hold tight. Consume is upgraded. He eats a couple lings. He's going to be able to get down a swarm on top of those Lurkers. It looks like he is going to perhaps be able to save this base, but he's moving in a second swarm as well on top of the tanks. He's going to move in here. He's got a few Lurkers underneath the swarm, and he is gonna push Bogus back just barely. Wow, I mean, he lost so much damage on those Lurkers. He lost a lot of lings. He lost all of his Mutalisks, but he bought the time necessary to get swarm down on Lurkers at this base, and he secures those 4 bases. Otherwise, you know, if Bogus had moved quicker... Oh, okay, vessels are gonna survive. It looks like one vessel did die at some point. This is a nice move by Bogus, sending units up to the top left to kind of see if Jaedong has any extra bases up there that can be dealt with more easily, while expanding to this mineral only on his own as well. Okay, so he does have more. The Defiler gets irradiated, but he puts down a swarm first, so this base is going to be protected for a little while. It's going to be able to continue producing Defilers and get more defense down here. What melee attacks are being upgraded here? Can we? Where's the evolution chamber? You can't. Is there a way to tell? I think it's level 1, but I'm not sure if there's a way to tell which level it is. Is there a different graphic? I'm actually not even sure if it's a different graphic for the different levels. I know it's a different graphic in like a Starcraft too, which is kind of cool. But in any case, Jaedong now has the power to kind of ooh, sick plague there, nicely done. Getting a lot of damage on those Marines, and he's still a little bit medic light. So that's gonna hurt. The medics are gonna be at 0 energy at some point before too long. Basically, how much? You have I can't see their energy. Oh, there's never mind. 150 energy. So actually, they have a decent amount of energy, but a plague actually takes up so much medic energy. You can get to a point where the medics are so low that they can't heal as effectively. Oh, these mines are oh, nice mines there. This Defiler is going to get killed as well, but he gets a little bit of a plague off as a vintage plague. Actually, the Lings are going to come in and save the 4 hit point Defiler. Just barely. So we got stuff going on around the map here. Looks like Bogus is trying to focus on irradiating units down at this bottom right area. He knows if he can break in here, he can break through, he can kill this expansion and kill this one as well, more than likely. But it's going to be difficult to break through. It's, you know, it's a delay game by Jaedong. He's just getting the swarms down, trying to use Scourge to pick off the vessels, but unsuccessfully because there's a lot of Marines to protect him, obviously. Using the plagues to try, just slow down the oh, those mines could have dragged into those Marines, actually. Single Ling is going to get up here into this new expansion for Bogus. He actually was not just checking out to see if Jaedong had an expansion up here, but I remember seeing that there was an SCV with that little expeditionary force, and it's now built a command center up here as well. Started to build factories. Pretty common for once you get the second main as a Terran, you start building factories, so you can start putting out siege tanks for the inevitable Ultralisk. And there's the Ultralisk armor being upgraded right now. In fact, so I didn't see the Ultralisk cavern going on before, but some nice spines going out here, protecting against this ramp. Even without Swarm, Lurkers blocking these ramps is just so powerful. This Defiler's going to try and get some plague off before it dies. It just barely does. You can see the energy was ticking up. 148, 149. It got enough energy to cast that plague at just the last moment possible. So Jaedong, Bogus is doing a good job of being all around the map at different places, harassing the natural, harassing the fourth down here as well. And actually, he might have found an opportunity where Jaedong is not paying enough attention to this bottom spot. And, well, he can't push in any farther, though, because these lurkers are here. Where are the science vessels? They're all up here with the rest of the army, I guess. Jaedong running in here, trying to do some damage to this top left base. Looks like it's not going to accomplish enough. He's actually got a barracks up here as well in a small force. Bogus is really, he's, you know, tapping around the edges of the defense, looking for, actually not even tapping. It's like he's hammering around the edges of the defense of Jaedong's, you know, bubble of influence, trying to find a spot where Jaedong might be vulnerable, hitting up here, expanding up here and forcing, drawing him out a little bit. And here's a little bit of a counterattack on the side, but Bogus once again, oh, this mine, oh, all Lings died before the mine went off. I was really excited. I thought that mine was going to go off and kill like 12 Lings in one shot. But Bogus is now redirected from the top down to the bottom. Scourge are going to come in. He's going to dash back and protect his vessels there. But at the same time, the swarm goes down as well. Now, there's not... look, there's no... Are these... Yeah, those guys are dead. The radiates had gone down. So he actually had an opportunity to move in here. He's fallen back. I don't know if he realized that there was nothing left underneath that swarm. He could have just gone right through and killed the Nidus. Instead, choosing to fall back here. It looks like I missed a little bit of some trades over here. We got some blood stains on the hull plating on the space station. So Bogus missed a bit of an opportunity to actually break in here. He could have theoretically killed this base, but he's again dashed, kind of gone back up to the north. Now the thing is he's kind of going up and down and up and down and back and forth, trying to defend all around the map. And it feels like he's not breaking into Jaedong's territory, but during this, he's gotten this third base up, he's gotten this fourth base up, he's gotten his factories up, he's getting his tank count up as well. So it doesn't really matter that much if he doesn't break Jaedong's defenses, if he can hold Jaedong back and expand his own sphere of influence on the map, which he has done. Now here's the crucial thing right now. Okay. Oh, did we get a plague on these? No, we didn't get a plague on these. I was like, was that Mutalisk hunting for plagued science vessels? Oh, and there's the plague actually on the science vessels. And one of them's going to get this revenge on the Defiler. The Ultras are out now, ladies and gentlemen. They have 5 armor. They're going to be soaking up so much damage. There's +3 weapons, but at the max upgrades, there's still a +2 armor advantage to the Ultralisks. So the Marines are only going to be doing 4 damage, if I remember correctly, to the Ultralisks, which is not very much. He's going to get a surround. The irradiated Ultralisks are going to be doing additional damage to those forces. The Ultras are going to take a lot of damage over time from those irradiates, but they're going to be dealing a lot in the meantime, and the entire force of Bogus goes down. So now, here's the thing. Bogus, like I was about to say, he needs to deal with this base and this base before they get up and running. Can he do that? Because, oh, nice Scourge. The Marines all died in the middle. Oh, no. He got the plagued vessels as well. There's only 1 vessel left in that group. The extra vessels have come out here, and he's going to have a few irradiates left, but that is a huge, huge blow to Bogus right now. That might have just lost him the game. That moment right then might have lost him the game. Killing the Marines in the middle of the map, finishing off that force was a huge deal, but then polishing off like 8 science vessels is a huge, huge deal, because that's going to severely limit the amount of radiates that he can actually cast. And with all these Ultralists and Defilers out now, with the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 gas that Jaedong's going to have in a second here. Oh, never mind. This one Marine has something to say about that. In any case, it's going to be difficult to defend. Bogus looks like he's going to defend this location here just barely. A nice plague. These Zerglings might want to get into that swarm and start attacking, but it's just still not going to be enough. Oh, there's an Ultralisk gun there. I didn't even see that. It's hidden by the swarm. 26 hit points left. So one tank shot, even the splash damage, I think might take it out. Is he going to actually waste an irradiate on it? We'll see. But in any case, so Jaedong killing those vessels is huge, because imagine if he had another 8 irradiates per minute or however long it takes to recharge the amount of energy for an irradiate. He'd have a lot more power against these Ultras and what have you. He still does have a significant... Oh, what is he doing? What is going on? What is he not protecting? Why are they not attacking? The Scourge weren't attacking, but the Marines weren't either, so it was a little bit of a stalemate. Eventually, the Marines do engage, but only against the ground units, so the vessels still go down to those Scourge, and this might be the end, ladies and gentlemen. Jaedong now, I mean, I guess I should say the beginning of the end. Obviously, he doesn't have a large force here to come in and completely annihilate, but finishing off even more vessels and moving in here to this third base, taking control of this area so that Bogus is kind of kept back a little bit is a huge deal. Now, Bogus does have a lot of tanks up here, though, and what we might be seeing is Bogus just, look, he's not moving these out on the map. He's just like, all right, well, these tanks are here to just protect against any counterattacks up at this location. He's gotten this other expansion up as well. A little bit of skirmish in the middle, and again, Jaedong just has the advantage in these ground battles. Whenever they engage in the ground battle, the Marines have just been killed off or forced to run. The Ultras are too strong, and you can't get any more upgrades. The Marines can't get any more upgrades, and they're getting plagued and they're getting swarmed, and Bogus is having a hard time dealing with this. But if he can max out and just move out with a bajillion tanks and a significant medic Marine force and some vessels to accompany with it, if he can just max out and move out across the map and just annihilate Jaedong in one fell swoop, then that would be a very swoopy swoop, and he could win this game, even though I feel like he's kind of been losing ground and now is kind of in a position where he just can't win against those Ultras. Jaedong looking to get a 6th gas up here as well. He's obviously got this mineral only moving along as well. They're all mined out in their mains, but that's not too big of a deal at this point. Oh, more battles going on in the middle here. Ultralisks engaging. He's again irradiating the Ultralisks. I wonder if someone has done the math or done some studying on, oh, and he's gonna lose more vessels. I feel like in those situations, I wonder if it would be good for Bogus to even just select a few Marines and just right-click shift the Scourge just to protect those vessels. A few Marines not attacking the Ultralists is not going to be as big of an impact as saving these vessels. But in any case, Bogus once again kind of losing out on that battle. Even though he had a superior force, the Ultras are just so highly upgraded. And now with a Defiler and Lings coming in as well, if you can get a couple more Ultras in there, that would be good too. These are Cracklings, but the Marines are going to be doing okay against the Zerglings, actually. Let's actually see if we... Oh, yeah, they can just dodge out from underneath the Dark Swarms pretty easily. The Marines only have +1 armor. Let's see what these Zerglings upgrades are. So 3-2, so the Zerglings are going to be able to do pretty well against the Marines, actually. Oh, there's the tanks. He's employing them finally. And employing them on the other side of these bridges is a perfect spot. And having some medic Marines nearby as well to keep the Lings at bay is a good move there, obviously. Now the thing is of course, if you can get a swarm on these tanks, and you can actually get Marines and Ultras on top of them, that is a huge deal, and that's why he needs those vessels, so he can be out on the map trying to make sure that doesn't happen. Soften up the Ultralisks before they actually get to him. Make sure that there's enough to kill the Lings. He's kept up the science vessel production. It looks like a couple of them have gotten plagued. Why are their hit points? Oh, it's just hard to see. Oh, 0 vessels for Bogus, ladies and gentlemen. He is moving in with that tank force, though. He's close to max, but where is the rest of his army is the question. Jaedong going in for a potential counter drop in the main as well. As he's pushing back, he did get some swarms down. Bogus is going to be able to fall back here. Plague on the tanks is a big deal as well. And it looks like it's just a few Lings that are getting through here. Not even any Defilers, but Cracklings in your main can do significant damage. He's going to be able to kill off a lot of depots very quickly unless Bogus can do something about it. And he has the forces to do something about it right here, right nearby, but he's not doing anything about it. He's going to lose a lot of depots. He's in fact now supply blocked. Some more skirmishes going on in the middle, by the way. The tanks have been softened up a little bit. He's only got about half the tanks that he had before, maybe 3/5. But he still has a significant number, still enough to deal with this. A Zergling counterattack into the expansion as well is going to distract the forces so that those other Zerglings in the main could do even more damage. Look at this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, there's like 10 or 12 depots gone. 147 out of 134 supply. Bogus is not going to be able to rebuild any units. He has to build 5 depots even just to get back up out of the red right now. This is a horrible situation for Bogus. He cannot attack it all right. I'm sorry, he cannot produce it all right now. So that means he cannot build anything. He got decent money in the bank, but he can't do anything about this Ultralisk just single-handedly taking out every SCV here. Jaedong has taken that 12 expansion long ago. This is his 6th gas, and Bogus is trying to contest it as well. But again, the Ultralisks and Lings are coming in here. A Defiler is going to be there to back up as well. Probably put down a swarm, or just kind of just wander through. Just sightseeing. Just a sightseeing Defiler there, I guess. Anyways, that the one Ultralisk, this Ultralisk was just chilling, by the way. This one was doing all the work. 14 kills on this one, only 5 on that one. Come on, start pulling your weight. Get a real job. How did they? What the? Oh, did this Overlord drop out a couple Ultralisks up here? I guess it's gonna work pretty well. But I was like, how did the Ultras get past this tanks and what have you? In any case, Jaedong it seems to be in command of this game, but Bogus is not quite out of it yet. He still does have some supply. He's got money in the bank. He's gotten his supply back up to 200, which means he actually built probably too many supply depots. I'm not sure where he built them, actually. Where's the supply depots? In any case, Jaedong is now going after the heart of Bogus's economy, though. This could, I said it was probably the beginning of the end before. I was wrong. Bogus has held on very, very tightly to this game, but this might be the end right here now, ladies and gentlemen, because up here in the top left, this is the heart of his tank production. It's the heart of his economy, and after losing this 3 o'clock base, it's basically the only place he's mining significantly. This base down here has a little bit of minerals left, but it's also a vulnerable position, so Jaedong breaking in here is a huge deal. This might be GG very soon, as soon as these bases go down. It looks like Bogus is bringing everything he has to bear, but he built 200 supply worth of depots instead of building units, and so here he is without any units with empty supply and is forced to GG. So well done, beautiful play. Actually really well played by both players. That was a really awesome game. I thought, you know, at first I was like, oh well, you know, Bogus is not the favorite, but he can put up a fight. He put up a damn good fight. I thought he was gonna win in the mid game, actually, when he was, like I said, he was poking down here, he was dodging up here, he was putting a lot of pressure on Jaedong, keeping Jaedong on his back foot. Jaedong didn't get a 4th base for a long time, actually, maybe, or 5th base, sorry. He didn't get a 5th base. He secured this 4th base pretty early on. It was just a knife's edge defense there, remember. The 5th base was pretty late, and the 6th base as well. He didn't get the extra gases until pretty late in the game, until Bogus was even on bases. Bogus was already getting this base up here, and he had this one down here. So Bogus, I feel like, had that advantage in the mid game, but he just wasn't able to really capitalize on it. Jaedong was just able to basically play, you know, the way that Zerg at its highest is played, which is what Jaedong does. He plays Zerg at its highest. And, you know, just defend with lurkers and defilers and just keep enough gas to keep your defilers pumping out, keep your lurkers up, that you can just make sure that they can't quite break you. And until you get enough stuff that you can get the extra gases, you can get the Ultralisks out, and all the other hive tech, and really just overwhelm in the late game, basically. So Jaedong doing a good job of exactly that. But again, I wish I could go back and remember exactly what point in time that was and figure it out. But there was a point when he irradiated three lurkers. There was a dark swarm here with lurkers underneath it, and Bogus backed off and started going north. Remember that? And the lurkers all died to irradiate, and Jaedong had nothing here. I don't even, this Nidus might have been here, but he just didn't have very much at that point in time. At that point, if Bogus had just gone through the swarm doesn't actually hurt your Marines unless there's something underneath it. It's scary to see that swarm there, but you know, it's not actually deadly. So I think that was a missed opportunity. I think that's where Bogus was in command of the game, and I think if he kind of went in and is this the moment right here? I'm not sure. I think if Bogus was able to go through and kill off this 4th base, remove a gas from Jaedong's equation, I think that might have been the moment where he could have actually really secured the game as a victory. But he kind of just missed that chance. And that wasn't throwing the game by any means. He was still ahead, and he was still able to maintain control. But that was a good opportunity that was missed. But after that point, Jaedong had a good engagement or two in the middle and was able to start taking extra bases around the map. So was able to get the long game victory there. So anyway, I hope you all enjoyed that game. I certainly did. That was an awesome game. And oh, that's kind of... It's kind of funny that when you fast forward the replay, it plays a bunch of the sounds of the things that were happening as it was fast forwarding. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks very much for watching. GG, take care.